gentlemen, welcome back to Crime in Sports.
Yay!
Yay! We are here again with you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you guys for new iTunes reviews. I got to thank Jay Wedbetter on Twitter there, our buddy.
Yeah.
He had the best iTunes review of all time. My name is James Pietragallo, by the way, here at the co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Sorry, I had to jump into that. I was so excited about it because you get people, listeners, they give you iTunes reviews, and any iTunes reviews are just awesome. For you guys to take the time to do, it's amazing. Yeah. But Wedbetter broke this shit down like he was a prosecutor, and was prosecuting the case of why you should listen to this podcast, which was just amazing. So thanks a lot, man.
He essentially just said, if you're reading this review, if you read reviews to get an idea of what to listen to, here's the reasons that I listen.
Yeah,
and it's gorgeous.
He broke
it's
it down.
Beautiful.
And we have a Busby update for later on. We'll get to. But please, iTunes, please get on there. Give us a review. It takes 30 seconds, and then you got to sign into your account and do all that. Just enter your password. How long is it? Was it 12 characters?
Right.
Get it over with.
You're already done by now.
You're done by now. You got to have given us 5 stars, following instructions, as we put it, always following directions, whatever you want to put, and have a good time with that.
Yeah.
But this week, Jimmy, oh my goodness.
Last week's was so goddamn fun.
Tommy Morrison was crazy.
I really loved doing that.
That was more than we could have expected it to be. The story just keeps unfolding and unfolding
and it's stuff that I had no idea about. When we do these every week, and we dig as deep as you do, when you dig as deep as you do, and you get these things out, it's like, how are these not more mainstream? How are these not covered every goddamn day? The media should be... Well, thank Christ they don't, because if they did, we wouldn't be
That's
here.
true. We wouldn't. There'd be no need for us. But there would have been no need for us, so we would have it would have been fine.
Those fuckers could be taking whoever's listening to us.
It's true. I'm telling you, that's a story. Tommy Morrison's famous guy, was in a movie, was heavyweight champ, and then he got HIV, and so he was in the news for all these big moments. But there was all of this stuff happening. Yeah. He's beating kids' moms and biting this lady, and
that picture of him at the end.
Oh, that
mugshot.
That was horrific, wasn't it?
It doesn't. It looks like every dude that stands on a highway off ramp begging for cash.
It looks like you put one of those the air pumps that you do, like an air mattress, and you put it on reverse, and you just sucked out anything he had.
Sucked all the heavyweight material out of it.
Sucked him into a fucking middleweight. He was fighting Bernard Hopkins by the last picture. Forget about it with this guy.
Just a soggy, a sad...
That was a mess. And at the same time, just bragging about how healthy he was the entire time. Look at me, I'm a picture of health.
And his mullet falls out. That's just fucking... that's gorgeous.
There's nothing sadder than a redneck that loses his mullet. That's truly like a Samson moment right there. You know what I mean? That's their power. That's their power. Oh, no, not my mullet.
Yeah.
No.
Not my mullet. He lost all his 40 chugging.
Next thing you know, the transmission's going to go on the El Camino and forget about it.
On the El Camino, on the house.
That is true. This was a fully mobile home laden episode.
No doubt.
That, for people in other countries, that's America, what we just gave you.
No doubt.
That was like middle America.
Yeah.
What we have tonight is not middle America.
No.
This is kind of unique to, sort of unique to America, but it's a crazy story. This is one... A lot of times, last couple of weeks, we did Marvin Barnes, we did Tommy Morrison, and both of these guys are very famous. Marvin Barnes is a famous guy. He was on that 30 for 30 on ESPN, so he's been put into the spotlight. Tommy Morrison, obviously, is in a Rocky movie. He's heavyweight champ. Says we all knew who he was.
Yeah.
These are very famous guys that we kind of have an idea of their general story. And then you listen and we go, oh, wow, I didn't know that, and that happened too. This one is one where I'm like, I never even heard of this guy. I don't know who the hell he is. And the story is insane.
These are my favorites.
This is what I like too, because it's not about the fame thing. It's about this actually a crazy just unfolding of a shit life
that had athletic prowess.
Yeah,
that made it to the upper echelon and the pinnacle of the sport he played, and it all came crashing.
At some point, somebody made his life into a nice big shitburger patty. Boy, let me tell you something.
And then toss that thing on the fucking 50-gallon drum that's sawed in half grill.
Yeah, that's exactly
just
right.
So sad.
Like a Tijuana taco. A shopping cart with a homemade propane setup. I love that. That's ingenuity.
That's a great grill. Yeah,
that's ingenuity. That's
just
amazing.
That's homeless desperation at its finest.
If you ever go to Mexico, that's if you see anybody with like a shopping cart that they've made into some sort of cooking apparatus, buy whatever they have because it's
going to be
food.
delicious.
Yeah, if they have any kind of meats, they're going to make it. It's a dog, they'll still make it delicious.
It might have some. It might have some chrome fucking coating chips on it from the fucking melting off.
I think it's probably be good.
I'm sure it reverse smelts that fucking cart in some way or another. If you haven't seen what we're talking about, Google grocery cart barbecue grill.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy what homeless people will do.
Homeless? These aren't even homeless people.
These are just people.
These are entrepreneurs on the street. These are culinary entrepreneurs.
Putting square marks on a burger or whatever the fuck they're grilling.
My goodness,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. But tonight, let's get into this guy here. All right. Keith Wright is our subject.
I love it.
All right,
that's a good, solid name.
It is a good, solid name, and he shares this name with a few others that we'll get into a little bit
Maybe
later.
His father?
Actually, I don't believe so, but we don't know because his father never around.
Weird.
His father, gone before.
We're back to that full fucking.
Gone before he was born.
They either stick around and beat the shit out of him, or they just disappear. Either way, you're going to be a criminal.
What's worse, do you think? Would you rather disappear?
It doesn't matter. It still ends up behind bars.
It still ends up bad. It really does. It really does. Well, I mean, there's the Tommy Morrison. These are the two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Disappear before you were born. Stick around to torment you in your entire family.
Stick around to beat the fuck out of the whole family.
Your brothers, your mom.
At least it taught him how to fight. Because without that, I mean, he may have been a football player.
Yeah, no Rocky.
You know what? That's a great point, because his dad stuck around, beat the shit out of him, taught him how to fight. He went into boxing. Had he not had his dad, he may have gone down this road because he was going to go play football.
That's true. He was going to go play for Emporia State, Kansas.
That's correct.
If I remember correctly. So Keith Wright, he's born June 8th, 1980. So he's a younger guy.
So close to my age.
Yeah, he's right around your age.
Right around.
There. He was born in Santa Clara, California.
Beautiful place.
Growing up, holy shit, did this guy have a childhood.
Really?
This is like straight out of The Wire. Again, this is
fantastic.
He is like, you remember Wallace, the kid they killed that raised. He had 8 brothers and sisters that he would throw out juice boxes every morning to them, and they lived in a boarded up building.
Some dilapidated shit.
Yeah, boarded up. It was an abandoned house that had the if animal trapped, call this number sign on it and shit. That's this guy's upbringing.
I never saw
basically.
The Wire.
Okay, well,
I saw a couple episodes, but I never got real. I should absolutely.
It's tremendous. It's the best.
It's Baltimore,
I have
right?
it on DVD. It's great. I'll give it to
All
you.
right.
Yeah, it's Baltimore. It's on HBO Go too. If you want, it's
Listen,
amazing.
I don't have an HBO Go password. If anybody wants to tweet me, just do that. Yeah, we'll get it.
Somebody DM Jimmie. They're
slide in my DMs if that's. I don't know what that term is. I know it's flirting. Whatever.
Father completely gone.
Okay.
He grows up with his mom.
No dad in Southern California. That's not so bad.
It's okay. They moved to Palo Alto, California at age 6. He grows up in and out of the Sacramento area.
What place is in Palo Alto?
That's
is it UCLA?
No, I think that's Stanford.
Stanford, yeah. You're right.
Up in that direction. So he moves there when he's 6. They end up in Sacramento at some point here.
That sucks.
It's in Sacramento. It's real inner city shithole, too. It's really bad. Mother, complete crackhead. So
surprise. Sacramento's a shithole.
It's a shithole.
It sounds beautiful, and it's the capital of California.
It's the capital, absolutely.
But it's not fucking California. it's
not
an entire
great. No. It's more like meth cooking, central California than it is northern San Francisco wine country or
it may as well be fucking Fresno.
It's no good. Yeah, it's something like it's basically fucking Reno.
Yeah,
Reno by the sea. We'll call it. Come to Sacramento, Reno by the sea. The tourism board of Sacramento is going to love us. Hashtag Sacramento tourism.
It's no fucking. It's no LA. It's no Santa Clarita. That's what it isn't.
It's not fucking Phoenix. It's a dump. So anyway, so his mother's a crackhead.
It's Phoenix with a beach.
That's what it is. They even have a beach, or is it a little more? I guess it's kind of by the beach.
It's inland, I guess. But...
Reno by the sea.
Right. Okay. So, go on.
Reno on the Pacific. I got to call Reno tomorrow morning.
It's Reno with seagulls that eat diapers. That's what it is.
Diapers and crack rocks that are left behind by Keith Wright's mother, apparently.
I love it.
By age 7, she would have him going to the corner to buy her crack. So
7 years old, she's already fucked that kid up.
Oh, he's fucked, basically.
He's completely ruined.
He's ruined, and it's yeah.
Listen, I have ruined my child in a different way, where he picked up my phone one day and was just scrolling through pictures. A friend of mine, okay, I'll get it real quickly. A friend of mine was sick and was telling me that he was going to start coffee injections into his buttocks. And I, being a comic, I thought I was going to be funny and send him a picture of somebody else jamming food in their ass and tell him that the coffee is a gateway drug. And I found this chick with a corn cob in her ass.
Oh, my God.
And I took the picture and I sent it to him, whatever. But I didn't delete it from my phone. And my kid is scrolling through my pictures and goes, Daddy, what's this?
Killer.
So, yeah, so my kid essentially is whatever this guy is.
Okay, I know your kid's
wherever we get to. I fucked my kid up too.
But
I never sent her to buy crack rocks at 7.
Let's just hope he makes the Olympics before he kills a series of women. Before he kills a series of college students. That way we can do an episode on him.
Yeah.
Let's just hope that
I can't
happens.
wait.
Yeah.
I'll push him into athletics. And
well,
hopefully...
this kid is ruined. At age 9,
yeah,
he's going down to buy $20 worth of crack for his mom. You know,
unbelievable.
His mom had a nice little score, I guess. She's going to get a little $20 deal.
That's terrible. This kid knows what $20 worth of crack looks like
yeah.
at 7.
Oh, yeah.
That's too bad.
He's arguing with the people like, motherfucker, that ain't right. That ain't right.
Pull that scale out again, bitch. I know what an 8-ball looks like.
That's a 10. Yeah. Give me 2 of those for 20. What are you talking? Fuck you doing, man? Matter of fact, give me 2 for 3.
Right.
You know, give me 3 for
right.
2.
Because you just tried to fuck me.
You just tried to fuck me. I want 3 for 2 anyway.
Don't short me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the foul mouth this kid must have at that age?
Shit. And later on too, it's funny too. We'll get into a coach that talks about that, where he actually asks the coach not to cuss or something.
Really?
Don't curse. Why?
Because it reminds me of my childhood when I was buying Coke for my mom.
He's going down to buy a $20 crack rock, and he gets robbed.
Of course he does.
He gets robbed. This is on Meadowview Drive in Sacramento. So if anybody in Sacramento, shout out. This is a picture of little Keith Wright getting his $20 crack money robbed on that street. So you can drive right down that street.
You probably already know the street. It's probably the most popular crack street in the town.
It's got to be. Now,
it's probably Fremont Street.
We have it in their own words on this robbery here. He says, in their own words, quote, "That's when I really lost my childhood. I have come a long way, a very long way. I don't think anybody on this team has been through what I've been through as a child."
No, I don't think they have.
Probably not. He said that in 2005. Yeah, he said that in 2005 in a fluff piece of epic proportions.
Unbelievable.
And it's terrible, too, because it's another one. Fucking journalists. Okay, guys. Journalists.
Yeah.
When you title a fucking article, stop it with the wordplay. Just stop right goddamn now. It's not clever. It's the same idea everyone else had. If you have that idea, then don't use that idea. Yeah. Use your 10th idea that's not good, because that's an idea that's original.
Right. That's the writing tool that you use for comedy. Is that you toss out your first 3 or 4 ideas and then go with your next one.
When you get weird with it. Yeah, that's when.
Right, when you're like, that's strange. That's when it's funny.
This is called Life Headed in the Right Direction.
WRIGHT.
You bet your fucking ass.
You pun fucking throwing bastards.
Bastard. This is from the East Valley Tribune in 2005 when he signed with the Cardinals.
East Valley Tribune from
Phoenix,
Mesa, Arizona.
Mesa, yeah.
Bastard.
So this fucking piece later on.
That son of a bitch that wrote that lives in the same town as I live in. That's embarrassing.
And this was going on just a few short years ago. Well, 11, but this was from 2005. But we're still back when he's a kid here. We're in the 80s in Sacramento at this point now.
We're in 87.
We're about 90 right now.
All right.
At this point, he figures out how not to get robbed. He starts getting streetwise because he's like, all right, I'm sure his mom beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
An angry crackhead, and you go back to her. You walk in that door. She expects crack at that point, and you're just shrugging your shoulders with your pockets turned inside out. She's going to whoop your fucking ass.
A crackhead going through withdrawals.
Yeah. And your kid comes in, sorry, Ma. Sorry, cocaine.
A toothless crackhead.
Fuck, Eddie Johnson pops out of the bedroom. Did he bring the cocaine? Like, no. The fucking disaster. Because I'm sure he was roaming around somewhere at that point.
Positively.
So at 10, he decides, you know what? I didn't want to get robbed. In this game, I see my mom's in the... I'm going to start selling crack. That's a good idea. At 10, you want to get into the crack selling game. So this guy is a 10-year... This is a fucking Spike Lee movie at this point.
Then mom gets to do it for free.
Yeah, or at least he can make a little money off mom. Because I'm thinking, it's another thing. He's like, well, I'm going down there. I'm buying her crack. I'm not getting shit out of this.
May as well just be like, smoke crack. Honey, I need some crack. Yeah, I'll go in the back room. I've got some back there for you.
Yeah. That'll be $20, please. I'm sure he was charging her.
This is fantastic.
So yeah, this kid, he's selling crack at 10. At this point, like I said, this is a Spike Lee movie.
Yeah.
Like, John Turturro's questioning him dressed as a police detective. It's very fucking bad. He gets to the point now where he's like 10, 11-year-old kid. He's living in the fucking inner city.
Yeah.
Like he's living in very impoverished circumstances.
Yeah. And the role model that he has to look up to is a complete drug addict.
Is a crackhead.
That is completely abandoning her child or her parental duties.
I assume by now his role models are whoever he's found.
Yeah. Whoever robbed him lately.
Whoever's the best crack dealer.
Yeah.
Like, now that guy, boy, I like the way
Whoever
he
robbed him
crack.
most recently, he's like, that guy knows how to rob motherfuckers.
Guy knows how to rob a motherfucker.
That's what I'm going to learn how to do.
You're right. I got to get on this, man. I got to get on it. So he starts at this point in school. Now he is gambling on dice in school.
God.
He's like 11 years old.
Yeah.
This is like 5th grade. He's gambling about $300-400 a day on dice in school.
He's a hard drug selling, gambling, and bookie essentially too.
With a
probably
knot in his pocket.
Unbelievable.
And I'm thinking too, it's like 1990, 1991. He's got the newest Jordans, probably like they're
rocking a White
fresh.
Sox hat.
Yeah, like
with the new Chronic CD and his fucking Walkman.
I'm picturing a gold a Nike medallion or something like that. That would be
with a fucking marijuana leaf somewhere.
Yeah. At 11, I'm sure he did too. So all of this wonderful behavior at this point. He also he's also robbing convenience stores, like doing shit like that.
God.
Just robbing places, robbing people.
Yeah.
He's a fucking 11, 12 years
with
old.
With a crackly voice.
He's a little hellion.
Hey, give me all your money.
Hey, all your money. Probably not, though, because he's humongous by the time.
Really?
When he's fully grown, he's 6'2", about 290, 300 pounds.
Jesus
so he's probably
Christ.
fucking 6 foot tall, 240 at this
At
point.
13.
At 13,
Yeah.
go, give me your money.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, I'm sure. So by the age of 12, he ends up getting arrested for some of his behaviors, drug dealing, robbery, all of these things.
That was how old I was when I stole that fucking...
When you stole the Tough Man game?
When I stole Tough Man for Sega.
Jesus Christ.
But
he's
getting...
sold crack.
Right.
Because at least he had $400 a day to gamble. So.
Was he rocking like a big... high top fade or something?
We have no
pictures of the
photographic
children?
evidence, but I'm sure he had a nice high fade
with that little line on the right side.
I see it. Yeah, I think he'd go with, basically in your mind he goes to a Kid and Play.
Yeah.
He sees House Party 2 and says essentially I need to look like that.
Right. Rocking some cross colors or some shit.
That. You could do that. That'd be good for him, I think. It's a good look for a young man in 1992.
Yeah, but you do stand out when you're robbing a liquor store with cross colors on.
That's true, with giant orange fucking pants on.
and a big cross across the chest with like green and yellow and shit.
Like a big bright yellow Carl Kanai shirt.
You like Carl Kanai? That's hilarious.
And some big giant tongued British Knight sneakers. Christ almighty. What the hell is wrong with that? And the early 90s are coming back now. You can't get a pair of shorts that don't look like you're from 1991.
Around this time,
it's ridiculous.
When we were kids, when our parents were our ages, the 70s started to like creep back in. Like it's because the people that control the money right now, that's what their childhood was, and they're going to start bringing that shit in.
That's the people in charge of shit.
Yeah.
That's the people in charge of making things.
Yeah.
So they're
people
like,
in the
I like
mid-30s
that.
Have a little bit of expendable dough.
Assholes.
Yeah,
I don't want to dress like I did when I was 13. I don't want to dress like that.
I don't want to remember
like
13.
No.
I was an asshole.
I was a jerk off back then. I don't want to know. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it.
I love New York terms, you
Christ
fucking
almighty.
jerk off.
So anyway, at this point, he's busted dealing drugs, robbing convenience stores, being just a menace to society, being a general Spike Lee character.
Yeah.
He was arrested for Spike Leery, which is an interesting charge only in certain cities. He spends 2 years in juvie at this point. Goes to a juvenile corrections facility in California. It's a Sacramento, basically reform home, but like an in-house, nasty little juvie deal. He's there for 2 years. I mean, that's a good stint at that.
That's a bid at that age.
12 to 14.
Yeah,
you're
talking about a seventh of your life.
Yeah, he probably wasn't even jerking off when he went in. And then by the time he came out, he was ready to
fully blown loads.
Yeah, so that's a big change. He came out a different kind of cat.
He came out needing to shave and shit.
Yeah,
that's
needing
weird.
to shave and bust one out before he fucking hits the world for his day.
He found armpit hair in prison. That's crazy.
That's what I mean. Imagine the shenanigans he learned in there from the other upstanding young gentlemen.
No doubt.
So he gets out after 2 years. Okay, so he's 2 years. You figure 12 to 14, he's in there. He's going to have to get out, try to be clean up a little bit. You don't want to go back there. Not Keith Wright. He immediately, with less than a month, he's arrested for transporting drugs across state lines.
Wow.
So, I mean, less than a month, he's even stepping everything
trafficking
up.
now.
He's trafficking. That's what he learned from in jail. He went in there, and they were like, man, you can't just be slinging on the corner. You got to fucking take it to another state.
You ever seen Blow?
Yeah. You got to take... This is Reno by the sea, motherfucker. You take it from here to there.
You go to Portland, you go to Wyoming.
Take it away from the sea, goddammit.
You start a fucking... what do they call the fucking Mexican mafia thing?
The cartel.
Cartel.
Let's start a cartel.
How do I miss a six-letter word?
Goddammit.
You start a cartel.
That's what he's doing. A 14-year-old cartel.
The right cartel. All
Jesus, what a mess. So he's given options at this point. The judge gives him an option. Well, nice when you're 14, you get options, okay?
Yeah.
He can go back to juvie, where he came from, where he was for 2 years, which was probably horrible.
Yeah.
Or he cannot be in the custody of the California Youth Authority, and he can instead go to a place called the Arizona Boys Ranch, which is north of Tucson, Arizona.
That's a very, very well-known place in Arizona.
This is a well-known place. They did national stories about it. It's very big. Look this up. This was a huge, huge scandal.
He may have wanted to just go the fuck back to juvie after we know now what we know.
Well, it's really odd how he reacts to this. Well, let's talk about the Arizona Boys Ranch for a second, where he's sent. Now, this was a place, basically, if you've ever watched an episode of Maury, not a paternity test episode, a bad teenager episode, where the kid comes out and they're like, man, fuck my mama, I don't give a shit what the fuck she think, I'm gonna sell crack and I'm gonna fuck all the guys I want because I don't care. I don't care if I get AIDS, I want a baby. I'm 12 and I want a baby. I don't use protection. And you're like, you're little
12 and I want a baby.
You're trailer trash little piece of garbage.
No
the mother's
doubt.
just sitting there going, I just tried to make her a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and send her to school and she punches me in the face. I don't understand it.
I even cut the crust off.
I don't
she
get
throws it in my face.
So that, you know, those, and then they bring out the guy who's like in military fatigues and he's like, I'm going to stick your head up your own ass and I'm going to make you fart out a Twinkie and says some crazy shit. And then he drags him off to some detention facility for 2 weeks where he like makes him do crazy calisthenics and yells at him in a military-esque environment.
With no gun?
This is that, but for 4 years.
Holy shit.
This is that, but worse.
So he could go to juvie for 2 more years.
Well, I think it was the sentences were the same, but he could either do it here or you could do it there. Now, here, this is actually considered school, too. Okay. That's the difference. This is actually, when you get done with this, you have your diploma.
You get credited.
You're going to school, too. This isn't like a juvenile detention center, which then you're kind of shit out of luck.
So you're going to go to a place where instead of the kids picking on you in high school, you're going to go to a place where the adults pick on you.
Where the adults are going to be absolutely horrific to you. And they are.
And they've lived life lessons. They know how to get to your fucking right to your core.
Absolutely.
That place is horrible.
And the students here, the students or prisoners, whatever the fuck you want to call them at this point, they're woken up at 4 a.m.
The wards of the state.
Wards of the state. We're woken up at 4 a.m. for 2 hours of intense physical exercise and training, as they called it, which is basically military shit.
He's a soldier.
Yeah, he's a soldier.
That's 16.
But they also learned how to lay tile and do electrical work.
Hey, they got...
So they're getting trades.
Getting apprenticeships in this fucking thing.
They're getting trades. So they're like, we're going to teach you how to be a soldier and Mexican. Those are the 2 things you need to learn how to be right now.
You're going to be able to be on one of those fucking shows where they flip houses.
No fucking problem, man. And this guy's a huge guy. He could have been a character on one of those shows. He chose the wrong path. Jesus. We'll get into his path in a minute here. But so he still hasn't even played sports yet. This is how fucked up his childhood is. We're, about, 20-something minutes into this episode. He has not fucking stepped on a field.
Hasn't touched a
we
fucking
can't
ball.
even get there. Yeah. That's how
the only thing round he's
is.
touched is a fucking crack rock.
That's it. And he's touched a lot of those. This was a very military yes sir, no sir type of thing, right? And at first he didn't like it, obviously, because he's kind of from, a crack selling environment. It's a little looser in the crack selling world. But then, after a while, he said it's the best thing that ever happened to me. He said, sometimes they would make you move a pile of sand for 10 feet for no reason. And he said that built pride in him.
Oh, my God. That sounds horrible.
But yeah, somehow he took pride in that.
Move sand 10 feet.
Move that sand from there to there for no reason. Okay.
It's in the way over there. People are tripping over it. Put it over here.
Put it over here. Now,
pile of sand.
While he's in his senior year here,
Hold
he gets...
on.
What?
I've never even thought about that as a punishment. I'm going to go get about 500 pounds of sand, and I'm going to fucking make my kid do that.
That's like an old school military prison trick.
That
I
is
saw that in some Robert Redford movie where they made him move a pile of rocks from on it. It's like
The Last Castle.
It's like to break your spirit and, to just fuck with you. That's
and to make you sore when you wake up.
Because as you're doing it, you're going, but why? I just don't understand. If somebody makes you, even if somebody made you suck their dick, at least you know why you're doing it. You know what the intended result is.
There's
here
a
you're
finishing move.
There's nothing. There's nothing here either. It's all desert. We're in Oracle, Arizona. It's Tucson. What are we doing here? So when he's a senior, he goes to. We'll get into where he goes, but in 1998. This Arizona boys ranch, a 16-year-old boy died.
Yes, he did.
And it turned out that they were using exercise as punishment in the heat while he was complaining he was sick, and the nurse said he was faking and to make him do it, and he died.
If you've never been to Arizona, today it was 110 degrees here, and that is the norm. This week, all week,
it's July.
all week long, it's going to be 110. When did that kid die?
I think he died in June or May.
Okay, June is the hottest month in Arizona. In 1990, June 26th, we had 122 degrees here.
It happens.
It gets hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Try going outside tomorrow. The day you're listening to this, go outside tomorrow. It's summertime right now. Go outside tomorrow and do 100 jumping jacks and see if when you're done you don't want to fucking die, no matter where you live.
Yeah.
And then picture doing that in 110 degrees or better.
And if you are actually ill, which it turns out this kid was.
Oh Jesus, he had the flu.
He died. So yeah, it was.
He had the flu and he's doing jumping jacks and moving sand.
And after this whole thing, they did a huge investigation. They actually indicted a few of the workers, like 5 of these workers from there, on manslaughter charges.
Good.
And then they ended up dropping the charges on them for some reason because they did a big investigation.
Dropping them entirely?
Yeah, on these people. They closed a bunch of the facilities because there was a bunch of these camps. They closed a bunch of them, and they also had like 17 of the employees from around were put on like abuse registries for like abusing kids and shit. So it was seriously a fucked up thing, and they still have them too. By the way, look it up. I saw you can still send your fucking kid there. Yeah, it's horrible. So
I'm not sending my boy ever. I don't care what he does.
You shouldn't. Well, maybe when he starts serially murdering young college students, maybe
or selling crack rocks.
You never know.
Maybe after try to get him back on the straight and
after
narrow.
that picture, Jimmy, it's going to be your fault. So send him to a good school. All right. So Wright is so big, he's a huge guy, that they decide that he needs to play football. They send him. He has no interest in football, by the way. Doesn't like
the school for boys did this.
Yeah, doesn't like the game at all. Has no interest in football. Doesn't want to play football. They send him anyway to the Canyon State Academy in Queen Creek, which is outside of Phoenix.
Mesa.
It's like an hour outside of Phoenix. They thought he'd be able to play football, so they sent him there to play football. Talk about silver-haired, middle-aged white men just sending 16-year-old giant kids from the ghetto. Go play for that other silver-haired, middle-aged white man.
This is the original Blind Side.
It's fucking ridiculous, man. No, at least they were doing nice shit for the Blind Side. They're sending him to another prison camp. They were the academy. It's a prison.
They took him shopping for new rugby shirts, at least.
So he didn't want to play football. So the coaches and the staff, because he was sent there to play football, and it's like, well, if you're going to be here, you're going to play football. As a punishment, they made him sleep on a very, very thin mat on a concrete floor until he changed his mind. So after 2 weeks, they tortured this poor fucking kid into changing his mind and playing football. I mean, that's like, you don't want to till the field? Okay, fine. We're going to do it. This is like a total slave tactic. It's fucking ridiculous.
That's Chinese water torture.
As we'll get into this, but as much of a complete and utter piece of shit this guy is, like, this pisses me off that they would do that. You know, you're going to play football for me.
He's a giant man that they're making lay on a very thin mat on a concrete floor where you feel every fucking pebble through that goddamn mat. And your sleep is so important. Pounds. 290-pound man sleeping on a thin mat.
There's physical activity to do here.
Yeah.
So when he started playing football, once he finally gave in, he never played football before, and all the other kids, they were older. You know, this is 14, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds.
And now you've got a pissed-off man that's sleep-deprived, and he's going to fuck you up.
Well, he was, like, embarrassed at first. I got an in-their-own-words here from him. Awesome. In their own words, quote, "I was lost. You'd think it's so simple to put on shoulder pads or to slide pads into your pants, but I didn't know how to do any of it. All the kids were laughing at me." So he's like just this big kid going, I don't know how pads work, which I can understand. He never played before. He's like, I don't know how the hell which do they back? Picture shoulder pads. Right. Do you know which way they go on?
No.
You know what I mean? Like he's out there in podcast world, picture the shoulder pads.
These thigh pads are thicker than my bed.
Absolutely. Now, here we get into the silver-haired, middle-aged white man of the week.
We didn't get one last week.
We didn't. Well, Tommy Morrison, they were all just... Once he started turning bad, everybody just didn't like him. He was such an asshole.
Turned their backs on him anyway.
It was weird. The individual sports, they do that because they'll just move on to the next guy.
Yeah.
In a team sport, I don't know what it is. It's like we need to... But we have Canyon State athletic director, and he was also a line coach, defensive line coach with Keith here, Jay Reichenberger. He's our silver-haired, middle-aged white man of the week. He's as German as they come.
Yeah.
He said, quote, about Keith, he had the most natural pass rush I ever saw in a kid. But the biggest thing was he was a respectful kid. I'm not saying Keith wouldn't get a little obstinate at times, but he did things when we asked. Keith will tell you this place saved him, but we didn't change him. He changed himself. That is a hardcore, single, silver-haired, middle-aged white man.
That sounds very, very Third Reich.
It's ridiculous, and he's also. I mean, he keeps going here. He says that this was in 2005. This is a fluff. This came from the fluff piece.
Yeah.
Here he said that he keeps in contact with him up till 2005. Here, he said Reichenberger said if I use a curse word, Wright will say, "Coach, you really shouldn't say that." So total Eddie Haskell.
Yeah.
At this point,
reminds me of my childhood, Coach. Let's try not to do that.
Let's try not to cuss.
Hey, you know there was this large man that used to tell me to move that motherfucking sand.
Yeah. Hey,
could you just say hit this tackling dummy?
Do you need any crack at all? Because I can. Shit, I'm sorry. That just comes out sometimes. I forget. I want to sell crack. I don't know why. It's in my
so
blood.
Much easier than moving sand.
I have to. I just want to sell crack. So he actually graduates from this school in 1998. He has a high school diploma.
He puts in 4 years.
4 years. I mean, that's a rough high school. Like that's
hard
shit
labor.
High school. Yeah, hard labor with a bunch of fucking other hardened shitheads.
I was fucked with all through high school, right up until, very similar. I sold weed a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's past the statute of limitations.
I would assume.
I sold weed to kids, and when people found out that I had weed, that's when I started becoming popular and usable and friendly. That's when people liked me. But until then, my sophomore and junior year of high school, people kicked the shit out of me constantly. I luckily got a 2 or 3 year reprieve from all of that. This man went 4 years of getting his ass kicked every fucking day, and he was 3 times the size of me.
Luckily for him, he was 290 pounds.
Right.
Like you said, he was 3 times your size.
Right.
You didn't have that luxury of being able to tackle a man away from you. So he graduates in 98, which is amazing. Good for him, right?
Yeah.
He's got something going on. He actually goes to Arizona Western College.
I don't even know where the fuck that is.
It's in Yuma. But it sounds...
Oh, God.
Yeah, imagine spending your time in Yuma. But even from Tucson, that's a step down. Tucson sucks.
He's on a shit tour of the worst cities in America.
And this place, too, Arizona Western College sounds like one of those colleges like that's made up for like a comedy movie. Like where Scott Bakula plays quarterback for a team. You're like, I go to Arizona Western. Like, it's not a real college. What are you talking about?
It's like whatever was in fucking Necessary Roughness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I was like, Texas West or some horseshit.
I think it had like tech in it too. Texas Tech, Western or something.
They had to make up some combination that didn't exist of Texas colleges.
Texas A&M Tech or something.
Yeah, some horseshit. So he goes there. Now, he goes with 5 of the ranch boys, too. 5 of the guys from the school, from the reform, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
He talked 5 dudes into go with it.
They all go there. No, they must have recruited there.
Okay.
That's what they did, because who the hell else is going to go to a college in Yuma to play football?
And if you're the fucking
Yuma's
athletic
horrible.
Director there, that's a brilliant move.
Yeah.
Because you're getting hardened criminals.
These kids are tough.
That are straight up killers.
They're tough. These kids, they're not pushing these kids around.
You're going to put them on your fucking offensive line?
So, as a freshman, they go on a team trip to Mexico. There's a bus ride. All 6 of the boys' ranch kids get in a big brawl with each other.
Oh, that's dangerous.
They get in a big, just each other.
Yeah.
Like, they just start fighting amongst themselves, which is hilarious. So, it's a big fracas. They all get in trouble, whatever. Anyway, after his freshman year at Arizona Western, he has a dispute with the head coach. Doesn't like the head coach. They get into some shit.
Real quick, going back to the brawl, like what sets that off? You know what I mean?
Who the fuck knows? These people have been together a long time.
And I imagine old habits die hard. I imagine they've been like filing down toothbrushes and shit on the bus on the ride in.
Who knows how many shankings happened on that bus?
You can eat that cornbread and that shit going on.
Trail of bodies down the
I can't even imagine.
Down the Chihuahua.
I wish I would have watched that. That would actually be
surveillance footage from a
throwing beds.
six-man football team bus fight. That would have been amazing. Holy crap.
I wish I would have seen it.
That sounds like a really good idea for a wrestling match. We're going to put 6 guys inside of a picture of Vince McMahon coming out. We're going to put 6 guys in a bus. Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
This is essentially the plot. It's playing out the way every fucking football movie ever plays out.
Oh, God, yeah. This is like every 90s.
The program.
This is every 90s college
There's always infighting.
Absolutely.
There's always a brawl at a bar.
Somebody laid in the middle of the road while cars stream by them or some shit, like whatever crap movie that's from.
They go and fucking punch the opposing fucking badass on the other team
they're stealing mascots. Yeah. So he mercifully gets himself out of Yuma after his freshman year and transfers to Sacramento City College for his sophomore year. So he's going home.
Doesn't sound like a big
probably
college.
A bad idea. Yeah. But he actually does really well here. He has 14 sacks that year and is an All-American.
Wow.
Not like a first team, but he's one of the All-Americans. So, I mean, he made a name for himself there. Such a good name for himself that he started being recruited by major universities to transfer there. So, I mean, we're picking up. He's gone from juvenile hall to a shitty ranch to a shitty college to a less shitty college to now to a real college.
It's easy to stand out in those places, though, I imagine, if you've got some kind of talent.
And he had some kind of talent. I mean, he was on the way up. While he was touring colleges, he stopped at University of Arizona in Tucson.
All right.
Made a stop there where him and a group of the recruits were accused and arrested of stealing a bunch of shit from the U of A campus. Because, they bring a bunch of recruits in at the same time to show them around. Yeah. Apparently they went on some kind of robbery binge.
Books? They got books.
They got other stuff. Who knows what they were stealing? I mean, so...
They got pencils. Get them.
Wright, of course, claimed that it was all of the other recruits, but he had nothing to do with it. That always comes up where he's like, "Hey, it wasn't me; it was everybody else." But I was telling them not to, but then they did it anyway. He claimed it was the other recruits and went to trial. Actually, didn't plead or anything. He went to fucking trial and was found guilty and received probation. So they were going to give him like a community service type thing, but he was already committed to the University of Missouri by this point.
He went to Mizzou.
So yes, he ended up at Missouri. So they had to give him probation here. It was a pretty short probation, luckily for him. As we'll
kid can't catch a break, but at least it's short. I mean,
at least it's short. He's trying here.
Nothing in his life goes well, though.
It really doesn't. He's a series of like up a hill, fall off the cliff, up a hill, fall off a cliff. This happens to him, and he started with a crackhead mother and no father. So, I mean, at this point, he's in college. He's beat the odds.
Yeah.
I mean, where he started, the odds of him ending up at the University of Missouri on a scholarship...
That's incredible.
...are fucking nil.
Sure didn't happen to me.
Slim to none. Yeah. So, he's doing great. His junior year, he's in Missouri. He has 68 tackles, which is fantastic.
Decent, yeah.
They move him to at this point, he was a defensive end in high school and in early college, like when he played at Sacramento.
It's 12 games in college, right?
It depends on what team you are. It's 12, 13. Now they're scheduling a little bit more.
And Mizzou is Midwestern, or is that SEC?
No, I think it's aren't they SEC, Mizzou?
They might be SEC.
Yeah, isn't that where, Michael Sam went? Didn't he go to Missouri?
Yes.
Yeah, and that was SEC because I kept saying it was SEC.
So SEC,
player of the year.
That's a big fucking conference.
If I'm wrong,
that's a big
I'm
deal.
not a huge college football fan, so I like old college football.
Yeah.
I know that shit. But so anyway, he has 68 there. He has 68. Things are looking up. Junior season, and also he's arrested. Again, junior season, obviously, because he's got to get arrested. Yeah. He's arrested for using a stolen credit card at a gas station.
Oh, my God.
You dipshit. Now, he claims it's his roommate's card, which seems like that'd be a very easy thing to clear up.
Yeah.
Like, that would not take long to clear up. Like, oh, no, I gave it to him and said he could borrow it.
Totally cool.
Done and over with. But don't think that happened because he ends up pleading guilty to a misdemeanor charge.
Oh, God.
And he gets
he totally stole it.
He's totally stole it. Gets a suspended sentence out of this. Thank God that probation wasn't too long. Like
no
I said,
doubt.
Because then he'd be going back to Arizona in another work camp.
Locked up in another boys' ranch.
So, yeah.
They are SEC.
They are SEC. Yes. That's what I thought. Okay, so he marries his girlfriend, Lori, in 2001. So, I mean, hey, things are going okay here.
He's still in college,
He's still in college, but, I mean, he's got a girlfriend, and he's in college. He's
married.
Trying to build a stable life here. He's trying to build some course.
Trying to settle himself down and keep out of fucking jail.
Think about his life. I think maybe he's like, I'm going to try to set myself some sort of stability. I just have to not get arrested for a little while here. That's
when I grew up, I saw my mother not have a husband, and I would like to have a stable life. I'm in college. Nobody in my family, I'm assuming, has gotten there. I should get myself into a marriage that's stable and have a fucking stable life.
I'd like my kids to not have to purchase crack for their money. That's what I'd like to do. That would be the ideal, what we're going for here.
That would be something to celebrate.
So 2002, he has 92 tackles and 6 sacks.
That's incredible.
That's great. That's a really, really good season.
6 sacks?
6 sacks at the defensive tackle. So, I mean, that's mainly a run-stopping position anyway. So.
Most guys don't get that in the NFL in a season.
That's terrific. No, 6 sacks, 92 tackles is a great year at defensive tackle in college because it's a shorter season, too.
So, it's insane. I mean,
he's projected to be a 3rd or 4th round pick in the 2003 NFL draft.
That's huge.
I saw his scouting report. He had a 4.88 40-yard dash, which is fucking great for a guy who's 300 pounds. That's a quick guy. That's
I don't know
really
that I
fast.
could run that.
No, you couldn't run that. I guarantee fucking
That's
you
amazing.
couldn't run that. You would probably, your heart would explode at 38
I can't believe
yards.
his didn't.
No.
It's from buying crack rocks to 3rd or 4th round projected pick.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
That's great. He's got a wife. Things are looking up.
That's
right?
insane.
He's rated 15th out of 41 defensive tackles at
Real quick,
NFLDraftScout.com.
this is a guy that's been playing football for 6 years.
He hasn't.
That's
he
crazy.
didn't start playing until his
16
junior
years
year
old,
in high school. Yes, I mean that's not bad at all. He graduates Missouri, gets 2 degrees. I mean, he's now graduated from college.
I am blown away right now.
No father, crackhead mother. Right there, your chances of graduating from a university are about
minimal crimes.
Yeah,
I mean, apart from drugs,
well, he was selling drugs, robbing
apart from
convenience stores,
apart from that shit,
stealing credit cards.
Once he went into
robbing
prison,
shit on the campus.
All right,
he's done some crimes.
Yeah.
He's done some stuff, but he's trying to clean it up. I mean, I get the other stuff.
Yeah.
I get it.
In college, minimal crimes.
Where he came from, I get it.
Right.
It's amazing though when you're going on a recruiting trip to maybe go to a college, you decide, I think I'll steal some shit from here. That's insane to me. The thought
that will be
there.
had. That is mine.
Unfortunately for him, he does not get selected in the 3rd or 4th round of the draft. He goes in the 6th round of the 2003 draft.
Still great.
He's still got a chance. You're still on the roster at that point. You get signed to a deal. It's at very end of the 6th round. He gets drafted by the Houston Texans, who at that year were an expansion team.
That was their first year.
So this is their extra expansion pick.
All right.
So he's like an extra pick.
That's beautiful.
He's number 214 overall, but whatever. He's in the league.
213 men got into the NFL that year.
You're in the league.
And who was number 1 that year?
That was Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer
Jesus.
from USC to the Cincinnati Bengals. 4 picks ahead of him was David Tyree, who's the Giants
the fucking helmet catcher.
Who caught the ball on his head, which is kind of funny. In the 6th round. Nothing of note after him. Only kicker Josh Brown went in the 7th, who's a half-decent
He's
kicker.
decent. But played for the Giants. Is he still with the Giants?
I don't even know where Josh Brown is anymore. He kicked around.
Another guy that went to the Giants. 2 guys at the Giants that late in the draft.
Yeah, they know how to pick him late, I guess. Even though Tyree, that was his only note in the entire
I think he's out of the NFL already.
He never played another down after that catch. That was his last.
That's it.
That was it. But I mean, hey, way to go out,
That's the
right?
best fucking
Go
way
out
to
on
go
top right there.
Yeah, go out with a fucking ring.
So he signs with Houston a 3-year, $925,000 contract. This is for
3 years,
03, 04, 05.
925. He's making $300 and about $7,000 a year.
Pretty much. Now
I don't make that.
The only thing it's a $42,500 bonus. But in the NFL, this is not guaranteed money. That's the other thing too, because he's a late round draft pick. You've got to be on the team to get paid. So now he uses his bonus money, puts it down, and buys a house in Sacramento for his family. So he's trying to make a nice little
in Sacramento playing for Houston.
Well, he's from Sacramento.
I get it.
Maybe he's got his mom needs him to go down to the corner and get crack for her. She's very old by now, and she's feeble, and she can't buy her own crack anymore.
Right.
Picture her mom with one of those old lady carts like they have with just, I'm going to get my crack, dear.
Going to get my crack and tin foil and my fucking...
I need to go get my Brillo pad.
Brillo pad.
I'll see you later. So, at this point, too, as we go, his rookie season does not go great. as we'll get into here.
Kind of expected that.
July 30th. Now, this is training camp in July. We have not started the official season, haven't played games yet.
Yeah.
July 30th, he is injured, twists his knee, and this lingers through training camp. He pulls his hamstring 3 days later, doesn't play in a scrimmage. The knee keeps him out for a couple of preseason games and practices.
Who would have thought this guy
Yeah.
wouldn't be conditioned? I mean, he's been in the summer heat in
Arizona.
Arizona.
He should be in great condition. But
this man is tested.
So he, on August 31st of that year, he is waived by the Texans. He's already shit-canned. Next day, they sign him to the practice squad. Now, practice squad, if you're not a football fan, that is like basically like their minor league team, pretty much. They have, I think it's like 10 guys they get to keep.
Right.
You want to keep this guy so other teams don't sign him because you think maybe you'll be able to use him in the future.
Right.
But right now you don't have room for him on your active roster, so he's a practice squad.
Was Carr the quarterback then?
I think he was. Yeah.
He essentially is the guy that, like, if Carr is injured, they're using him to scrimmage and play against for the backup quarterback, so the backup quarterback is ready to play.
Yeah, they're playing against the practice squad and throwing.
They're redshirting. There's no hard hits, but
yeah,
he's getting close to him and pushing him down and stuff and knocking him around.
September 2nd, he's waived from the practice squad too, which is so odd. They just decide that
August to September,
goodbye.
No,
I don't think so. See you later. So he's drafted. Everything's great. He's buying a house. I have no job. A month fucking later, he's out. November 10th, of 2003, he signs with the Colts practice squad.
Oh, that's nice.
So in the practice squad, they're probably making $60,000 a year or something like that, which not great, but he's got a job.
Yeah,
it's better than selling crack.
Yeah,
so we'll say that.
No
better
doubt.
than robbing a convenience store. He ends up getting released there. He's signed by the Bucks in 2004. 2004, his son is born. He has
happy
a little
moment.
boy. Happy moment.
Yeah.
Very happy. He's bouncing around from practice squad to practice squad, but a happy moment there. The Bucks, he sticks around in the Bucks for a year. He's released in summer of July 27, 2005. He's released from the Bucks. He was actually on the Bucks active roster, and he was on the Colts active roster too. He wasn't just on practice squads there.
That's great.
Has 0 NFL stats. He does not have a tackle. He does not have a fumble recovery.
Nobody on that defensive line got injured.
Like he never existed.
Wow.
He was on teams, on the roster, standing there, his helmet shiny. Not a scratch on it. Pristine.
What was his number?
Chin strap. I don't even remember what his number is.
I wonder if he had the same number at every team. Or they were just like,
probably not. Who knows? He's a defensive tackle. They probably still gave him, like, you're like 18. Okay, I know it's against the rules, but we don't want to give you your right number. You're a loser. So at this point, he's a father, and Reichenbacher, our silver-haired middle-aged white man, just says that Keith is the most amazing father. He's first to jump in and feed that baby or change him. He said, quote, "He's changed every year since I've met him, but especially now that he's a father. It's so important to him. What he saw growing up, he didn't want to repeat that in his adulthood."
Oh, well, good for him.
Well, good for him. He's a solid guy there. Just a great father.
I picture him saying that with a German accent.
That would be amazing.
His hair flipping around, and he's raising a fist and a fucking goofy salute every time.
Every year. He's going crazy. My God. So he signed in 2005 by the Arizona Cardinals on August 5th. And this is where we get the fluff piece.
Comes back to Arizona.
That was like, hey, he's going to make the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Like, this is great. He does not make the Cardinals. In the article, he says he wants to get a good NFL contract so he can buy some land and build a group home. That's his goal. He wants to build a group home. He wants to counsel troubled kids.
I want to beat the shit out of kids because I get the shit beat out of me.
I am going to teach them exactly how you make every last penny out of crack.
Yeah.
Let me see. If you get yourself this much cocaine, I'm going to show you how to really stretch it.
Teach them how to work a triple beam.
Most crack for your dollar. That's what he's looking for here.
I learned that from Master P.
That's it. You got to get it, man. So his quote about this, in their own words, is, quote, "I've seen what crack does to families. I've seen the effects of it. People will sell the food from their house or the clothes off their back. They'll sell their bodies for a rock." So he said he's trying. He's like, hey, I'm going to help the kids, man.
But he's very aware of what can happen.
Oh, he knows. He knows. And thank God he wasn't really, really into crack.
Yeah, no doubt.
He would have done even worse things than he fucking did, which is hard to actually imagine.
Hard to top, yeah.
So Reichenberger here, he's just so proud of Keith at this point, bouncing from team to team. It doesn't matter. He says, Keith's biggest accomplishment is not playing football. He's survived. He's not selling crack on the street corner. That is the silver-hairest fucking statement ever. Yeah. That's just such a white older man like, hey, he should be selling crack on the street corner. With the rest of those monkeys running around,
he should be lucky to be unemployed.
He's so fucking racist. Like, you could hear the racist and the racism in his voice. Like, he did what he said isn't racist.
Right.
But you know, and you can just tell, like, I know what you meant, motherfucker. Yeah. Like, it's coming through like Archie Bunker would. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Lionel, you're one of the good ones. You could be selling crack out on the street corner there. You know, that's how he would say it. It's a complete fucking Archie Bunker moment. What a dick.
But it's like. Are you really just gonna say he should be lucky to be unemployed? That's what you just said.
I hope he's just hoping his son is big and stupid and gets in trouble so he can come play football for him at the fucking juvenile facility.
And I can say fucking veiled racist shit about him too.
Yeah. So this article, you know, I mean, all systems go for the Cardinals. He's going to be a Cardinal until August 29th, 2005, about 3 weeks later when he gets released by the Cardinals.
Jesus.
Yeah, not great. He's remains unemployed until January 14, 2006. So you get about 4 months, 3 months of him unemployed, where he signs a 2-year, and this is called a future contract with Tampa Bay. This is where NFL Europe comes in, because this is like their minor league system, the NFL, with NFL Europe. He's a 2-year future contract, base salaries of $310,000 for 2006, $385,000 for 2007. So if he can make teams and play...
That's a payday.
That's more money he's ever made in his fucking life, and he could use it. So, good Lord.
He's got a kid for...
He's got kids. He's going to have lawyers. He's got a lot of problems.
He needs to buy some Pampers.
Absolutely. And put some in the bank for this kid.
No doubt.
When you're not around anymore. So, Tampa Bay, they assign him to the Hamburg Sea Devils of NFL Europe.
Sounds great.
Yeah, Hamburg, Germany.
Right.
So you're going to Germany to play for a team called the Sea Devils. He can, Reichenbacher's got some connections.
Reichenberger, whatever
Reichenberger's
Who gives a shit?
Reichenberger.
He's used to the German accent, so that's a good place for him.
It's perfect. Yeah. Reichenberger, who I believe was, the Ministry of Propaganda, I believe, in the Third Reich. Once, so... Raul Reichenberger there. God, I love that guy. He's such a jackass.
What a horrible name.
So September 2nd, 2006, the Bucks release him. So he didn't last long there in that little contract, about 9 months. I assume he played for NFL Europe because that was a spring league, summer league, and then when they brought him to training camp, the second too, that's like last wave of cuts.
Yeah.
So like he almost made the team.
Yeah.
It was like down to the last 4 guys, and they're like,
but he made a little bit of dough.
Yeah, they're like, we can keep this guy or this guy. Yeah, we're cutting right. Fuck him. So
give rid of old Crack Rock.
Yeah, get rid of old Crack Rock there. But come on, he's my crack cook-up. When I'm in Sacramento, where else am I going to get crack, Coach? Come on.
Oh, don't worry, he'll be there.
Don't worry, he's on the corner. He'll be on the street corner. Just ask Reichenberger
Go
where to
find
find
that $40,000 house he bought.
God, they've fallen apart and shit.
Yeah.
Probably look like the Klopex house from the Burbs.
Yeah,
it's a disaster.
It's the house he grew up in.
It probably is. So just he bought it to have memories. Either that or he has like bodies buried under the fucking basement. So October 18th, 2006, he signs with the Detroit Lions practice squad.
Wow.
Yay, right? That's a good deal.
He is running practice squads.
December 12th, 2006, released by the Lions practice squad. Not great. And
they should just call him practice squad, right?
Practice squad Keith over here.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's either practice squad or Crack Rock, either one, whichever you want your nickname to be. So Bill Bradley, who is not Bill Bradley, the senator and ex-New York Knick, Bill Bradley, the director. He's a director of some sports website, and they were asking him about Keith Wright after he had some incidents later on, we'll say. And he said, this guy's bounced around. He's seen a lot of NFL. That's what life is for a lot of NFL players. You're trying to stick with one team or catch on with another if you can't. And that's what it is. Like, you see the NFL players, and you see your Peyton Mannings, and you see these guys getting giant Andrew Lucks, and these guys getting
Luck, that motherfucker.
These guys are getting giant contracts, and they're getting all this attention. They're on 1 million commercials, but for that, there's 53 guys on a team. 49 of which you don't fucking recognize.
Didn't they up it to like 72 or some shit like that?
That's
now?
your active roster is 53.
Yeah.
So you have your practice squad guys beyond that. They're technically on your team, but they're not active. So your 53-man active roster, so it's Yeah.
There's still a shitload of guys
There's
that
so
are going to
many
bounce
guys.
everywhere.
There's like 49 guys where you don't know who they are.
Right. Well, you get your Larry Fitzgerald that
Yeah.
stays in place for the fucking whole career.
And you have a lot of your like solid offensive linemen that you've never heard of that will play for the same team for 10, 12 years, will bounce around, but I get good contracts. And then you have a bunch of journeymen that fill it in. A bunch of special teamers, guys who just, practice squad to practice squad. Keith Wright is the norm in the NFL.
Wow.
This is what most of the players are like. Most of the players aren't the other way. So this is how most of the time it ends up.
And you think you want to be in the NFL playing college football, and then you get to the rookie symposium. Whatever the word is.
Yeah, symposium.
Symposium, that's it.
We'll mix a few more words.
You go to the rookie symposium, and then they tell you about this shit, and you're like, this isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah, what the hell
fuck?
is this about?
I'm going to go use these 2 degrees that I got. That's the other thing. Why the fuck isn't he using those?
Well, he's trying. He's trying to play
still in his prime.
Yeah, he's still 20. What is he? 26 years old at this point. 25 years old. So he's 26 after the Lions released him. So he's still thinking, I'm going to try. Now that's it for football, though. For him, he's done with football.
Wow.
At some point between 2006 and 2010, he's arrested for a felony of some kind. Now, oh my God, I can't tell you how much I tried to find this and how exactly deep I went for this. I cannot find out what the hell it was. Wow. I can't, unless I want to like pay money to the state of California for.
So it was in California.
It's probably it's definitely in California because I know this because his DNA was taken. This is the only reason I know this, and it's going to come up later, the fact that his DNA was taken and it's on record. It's kept on file at the Department of Justice's National DNA Database.
When there's like a criminal case that involves somebody that is not wanting to be outed as the victim, they oftentimes bury those, and you have to pay for those.
I don't know what
it's just not public record.
Some felony that required him to give DNA to the Department of Justice's database.
All right.
So that's what we're going with.
It was a bad fucking felony.
So something happened, but he didn't go to prison.
No.
So I don't know if it got dropped. I don't know what happened, but something happened. I would love to know, but really, there's just not a whole lot on this guy. Fucking reporters were not on top of their game with this one.
Bastards.
I'll tell you that. So that's fine. That's up till 2010. 2011, we're in Sacramento. Shit starts to get a little dicey around the Sacramento area. July 21st, 2011, there's a home invasion.
Uh-oh.
And this is in the Natomas. I don't know how you say that, but we're going to call it. It's Natomas. Natomas, we'll say.
All right.
Natomas area, okay? Intruder broke in, threatened the people with a gun, stole their property, stole their money. Basic home invasion type shit. This happens.
Giant man, I imagine.
Yeah, this happens. The description is of a very large black man that was screaming.
Screaming, "Fuck the Bucks, fuck Detroit."
He had a Detroit hat, a Bucks shirt, Arizona Cardinals sweatpants, and Houston Texan fucking cleats. And his shoulder pads run backwards. He didn't know how to put them on. And he had crack rocks dangling out of his pocket. So that was the description of the guy, or at least the big and black part. So a couple weeks go by, or a little time goes by here. August 8th, 2011, there's another home invasion in the Natomas area. Same thing. He has a revolver, the same deal. The revolver's big guy. Suspect at this time, this is a couple from Qatar, the country in the Middle East, right? Or Qatar.
Or I think it's
Qatar, whatever. So he steals Qatari currency from them. Okay? Now, this is not a normal thing in Sacramento.
No.
There's not a lot of Qatari currency.
Not normal anywhere in America.
No, not at all. So they steal that from them, and that's going to come back a little bit later. Now, August 20th...
As he goes to the fucking exchange place to get American shit.
You are ahead of your game, Jimmy, because the way this breaks down... But they don't find anything yet. Now, August 21st, 2011, this is 13 days later, there's another home invasion. 2 a.m., officers, Sacramento police, respond to the Homecoming Apartments at 4800 Kokomo Drive in Sacramento.
Somebody's getting desperate.
Yes. Calls for a home invasion. Suspect is said to have entered through an unlocked door.
Yep.
And this one is bad. There's a sexual assault.
Oh, no.
He holds her at gunpoint, sexually assaults her. There's forces her to perform oral sex with a gun to her head.
No.
Yeah, whole deal. Robs her, steals her money.
That's got to be the worst way to give a blowjob.
It's Jesus Christ. Robs her, steals her money, then takes her, makes her drive to the fucking ATM.
Yeah.
2 different banks, and tries to make her withdraw money. So
after he just aimed a gun at
after
her
he
head
did
and
that,
forced her to suck his dick.
and also had sex with her, I believe, too. And now he's kidnapped her on top of that.
The only worst way to give a blowjob is soaked in gasoline while the fucking guy with the boner is holding a lighter.
No
like,
shit.
there's no other way.
Good Lord.
A fucking gun pressed against your head.
No shit.
With a cock in your mouth.
Or
that sounds horrific.
Or if it's Mel Hall and he's just taking over your parents' bedroom. That's the other way.
Yeah.
That would be really bad.
Yeah. Or with a dish towel over your head.
Or with a dish towel over your head and a 7'2" Tom Paine pinning you down in your back seat of your car. So this guy at this point now, this is a serious deal here.
Yeah.
And by the way, the second ATM withdrawal was unsuccessful for $300. So at least he's not even robbing. He's not even picking good targets.
Right. She's like, I don't have any more.
Yeah, I don't have any more. He's like, what the fuck? So after the sexual assault,
you broke bitch.
You broke ass bitch. God damn it. So he leaves some DNA behind in the house, apparently, which is
it's probably dripping everywhere.
Going to come in helpful. If only it's somebody with the DNA in the registry. Luckily it is, and luckily we find out this idiot, fucking Keith Wright, as dumb as he is, he becomes a suspect after he tries to exchange the Qatari money,
idiot,
which is a riali, I believe it's called, and he tries to go to just a run-of-the-mill exchange place.
Runs into fucking checks for cash or whatever it is.
Yeah, he just runs into whatever you can get in exchange. He's with a woman also. The woman gives an address. Her real address to these people. Like a fucking idiot. Give a fake address. Give an address of a motel down the street. Something. Don't give
a
your
P.O. box that's somebody else's.
Something.
Yeah.
Real address. Now the authorities, when they hear Qatari money was stolen, they put a thing out to all the people, and to all the exchange places going, hey, if you get any giant black guys coming in with Qatari currency, give us a fucking little ring-a-ding if you would, because probably going to be wanting to talk to that guy.
We'd like to ask him a question
Just
or seven.
a couple of questions here. My question is, too, a foreign currency exchange sounds super shady. Like, if you can't count on them to be a little shady, who the fuck can you count on?
Here's the other thing, too. If somebody's got foreign currency, throw that shit away. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He didn't even know if a pile of that is equal to $3. That's the risk he took to get caught.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even know what the fuck this shit is. There's some guy with a turban on it. I don't know. I'm going to take it in.
If I get Canadian change back in change accidentally from somebody that doesn't know the difference, I'm just out a quarter, and I just flick that shit out.
You try to pass it off at the grocery store.
I'm gonna fuck somebody else's day up.
Yeah.
No, just who gives a shit? Get rid of it.
Slip it by a soda
Your day's
machine
ruined.
At that point.
You can't buy shit with it.
Oh God, Jesus. So that's the address the girl lives at. The authorities are like, well, let's check that address out. And what do they find on August 29th, 2011? They find a giant guy named Keith Wright there. It's at the corner of San Juan Road and Duckhorn Drive in Sacramento. If you guys want to go see where they took old Keith Wright down, anybody from there. He is arrested for this. The DNA, they're working on that. They're put in a real rush to see if that matches once they get him.
And I would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Oh, yeah, they pulled off a mask.
And the goddamn Qatari money.
He was masquerading as an 82-year-old white man. And they pulled the mask off him, and he was a 300-pound, 28-year-old black guy. It was the weirdest thing.
An 80-year-old spirit.
He's like, I don't know what you kids are talking about. And then they pulled the mask off. He's like, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
And the goddamn Lions and the fucking Bucks and the fucking Texans, all those bastards cutting me.
Give me my Cardinal underwear. So he's arrested here. There's no bail.
No.
Clearly. So now...
I would fucking hope not.
No bail. He knows he has DNA on file, and he knows they have DNA, and he knows about the Qatari currency.
Yeah.
He's in deep shit at this point.
No doubt.
Now, what about his wife and kid? Think about his wife and kid. He's got, what's his kid? 6 years old? 7 years old at this point?
Yeah.
Thinking of dad as, this superhero, and he wants to build group homes. And the girl, too, when she met him and married him, seemed like a great guy. And he's taught... he's kicking
Rags
around.
to riches shit.
Rags to riches. She's sticking with him. It's all right if you don't make the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take care of kids and get in a group home and all that. So I
get blowjobs at gunpoint.
These people, this poor woman got to give a fucking gunpoint blowjob, for Christ's sake, which is the worst thing I could think of.
Unbelievable.
She's giving gunpoint blowjobs. There's poor immigrants who come to this country to make a better start. They're having giant guys run into their house with crack rocks falling out of their pockets.
Lift their useless fucking money off of them.
Lions hats falling into their living room. And now, I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. I feel really, really bad for these people, but not nearly as bad as I feel for some of these people, like Keith Wright, the purchasing manager at Summit Systems, a telecommunications firm in the greater Atlantic area. Keith Wright is a UK true crime author.
All right.
A book called Address to Kill. He's got 1 million books. I just saw that was the first one that popped up.
He should read up on this fellow that we know named Keith Wright.
Keith Wright. Yeah, you just write about him exclusively. Do some investigation. Find out what happened between 2006 and 2010, please, because I'd really like to know.
Google yourself, motherfucker.
Jesus. Keith Wright, New York City Assemblyman from the 70th District, which is Harlem. He was challenging for Charles Rangel's seat a little while ago and lost in a race.
Because people Googled him and were like, this motherfucker gets
he's raping people.
Gunpoint blowjobs.
Shit, fuck him and his gunpoint blowjobs. I'm not electing him to shit. Actually, that's the guy you send to Washington.
Yeah, no doubt.
You want to get shit done? You send the guy who makes gunpoint blowjobs happen. He's going to get shit done. Yes, Senator?
Yeah.
You don't want to vote for my bill?
Hey, Hillary, you want to talk about your fucking emails? Come here for a minute.
Good telling you, man. She should have the gun, actually. She'd be the one with the gun, I think.
Yeah. Making people suck her dick.
Yeah, exactly. Or Keith Wright, MD, who went to the University of Kansas Medical School and has a family practice in Manhattan, Kansas.
Oh, my God.
Poor guy. Keith Wright, Allen Sport International Management and Inc. in Los Angeles. He's a entertainment. I think he's a fucking agent from Howard University there. Yeah, he's an agent. He should know better.
Yeah, no doubt.
He should know, presence. I'm sure he's Googling himself every 5 minutes. He's going,
change your name, fuckface.
Why does it take me 8 pages to find myself? I'm behind UK true crime authors and murdering or raping football players. Keith Wright, Managing Director of Global Transaction Services with Merrill Lynch in London, England.
There are so many.
Keith Wright, a dead Australian Baptist preacher who was super famous, ended up going to prison for raping an underage girl.
Perfect.
I even feel bad for him.
That man's living up to his name.
Even he's like, come on. My memory. Keith Wright, the poor a sophomore running back defensive end on the Dublin High School junior varsity football team in Dublin, Texas.
Change your name, sir.
Even worse, Keith Wright, a senior defensive tackle and offensive tackle at Helena High School in Helena, Alabama.
Holy shit.
He's 6'2", 330 pounds.
You got the same name and stats, brother.
And
Get rid of it.
Except he runs a 6.30 40-yard dash.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
he's real. Keith, man, you got to get your dash time up, buddy.
You're not going to make the NFL.
But I watched a couple of his plays, and he's a tough son of a bitch. Good for you, Keith. He's a big kid, and he plays hard. You know what, Keith Wright? I'm not going to rip you, buddy, because you're trying real hard.
You stick with it.
Please don't sell crack or make people give you fucking gunpoint blowjobs. They beg of you.
A 4-year bid in an Arizona boys ranch might do you some good. You might make the NFL.
Yeah, I think you can cut 20 pounds that way. Get down to old Keith Wright.
At least just start moving sand, sir.
Most of all, I feel bad for Keith Wright, the NFL wide receiver.
No way.
That played for the Cleveland Browns from 78 to 80, because that poor bastard, if you Google Keith Wright NFL, he has stats. He was a kick returner, and he's the first guy that comes up. So you're thinking, if you just think, Keith Wright, and you see what he did, you're going to think it's this guy more than likely, because I started writing about his childhood. My first hour and a half.
How did this guy go so wrong? Everything looks so nice.
Dude, no. He actually ended up having problems going to jail also, but he came back and had like a real redemptive thing.
Maybe we'll talk about him.
And he was a coach and everything. He didn't do that much, but I mean, I just saw that he was in jail, and it was a story about, it was like a fluff piece on him out of jail. And I'm like, first fluff piece, here we go. I'm going to look at that later. Then I'm like looking at, and I did research for about 2 hours, and I'm like, this is not the same fucking guy. Because at one point they're like, he's returning kicks, and I'm like, he's 290 pounds. How's he returning kickoffs? What the hell's going on? And then
some desperation play, some refrigerator Perry shit.
I differentiated between the two, and I was like, oh shit, I got to start over. This is the wrong guy completely. I had like some of each of them in there. It was difficult, man, I'm telling you. So this is great. August 31st is 2 days after he's arrested. He's going right to the press.
Yeah.
I'm an innocent man. He goes to CBS 13 in Sacramento, and he says that he could not have possibly committed the 8/21, the August 21st sexual assault robbery ATM run there, a gunpoint blowjob affair, because he has an alibi. He couldn't have possibly done it. He was at a family reunion in Madera, which is 150 miles away.
Right.
He says he has hotel receipts, pictures from the reunion, and a hotel surveillance video that proves that there's no way he could have made it back in time to do the robbery.
You shoot jizz 100 miles, sir. Is that how it works?
I think so. What he's trying to do is skewer the timeline.
Yeah.
He's trying to say, well, I was there at 7 and it takes 4 hours, even though it actually takes 3.
Right.
He's trying to pull that shit. But, I mean, he's making a serious case for himself.
So what he really did was go to a goddamn family reunion and get so goddamn bonered up that he had to go rob and get fucking blowjobs?
First of all, what family is this?
Yeah, no
Where
doubt.
were they when he was a kid selling crack on the corner? Nobody said, let's help this poor fucking kid out.
Yeah.
All he had was his mother. He had no... I hope his father's family hasn't come around now.
Why are you reuniting with that family? They're assholes.
They're complete pieces of shit.
They abandon you.
They abandoned you. This one taught you how to cut rocks. What the hell's going on? What a dick. So, Sergeant Andrew Pettit here of Sacramento, after he was said, Keith Wright told his side of the story to the press. He said, quote, Mr. Wright will have his opportunity to give his defense in court. We feel confident that Mr. Wright is the correct suspect because we have scientific evidence that says that.
Because there's these swimmers all over this chick's face that match the same ones in his dick.
And her comforter and her carpet. And pretty much all over the house. Yeah. Oh, there's some in the front seat of her car. It's everywhere.
Jesus.
So, from the same article here from the 31st where he was just, CBS 13 going at him, he's got his friends, too. His friend Derek Franklin here, who's it's Wright's, quote, neighbor and friend, which says to me he's a guy whose garage he goes over to sit and drink beer, basically. He's the guy they sit in the fucking garage and bitch about their wives together when they get drunk at like 11 o'clock on a weeknight.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's this guy, Derek Franklin. He said...
Derek Franklin sounds like a guy that probably played some stickball or some street football
with a friend. He played
some
high school football, and, he's like, oh, this guy played in that.
This
he played in the
motherfucker
league.
played for so many teams.
He played in the league, man. That's what he's saying.
He went all over the place.
He says that Wright is a devoted family man who always spends time with his wife and son, called the charges just completely false, said, quote, I don't believe it. He's just not that type of person. I mean, they are just flabbergasted.
You never forced me to give him a blowjob at gunpoint.
Hey, every time I give him a blowjob, it's voluntary. Let me tell you right now. He ain't never robbed me. When I borrows money, I don't have to. I don't have to get it out of the ATM.
I blow him for a great practice squad story.
So at this point, they execute a search warrant of Wright's home and find property from all 3 robberies.
Wow.
All 3 victims robbed. So he just saved this shit.
Why don't you pawn the shit, you idiot?
Just get rid of this shit. He tried to get rid of the currency, but not their stuff. He keeps their stuff. Then he's linked with DNA when those results come back.
Boy.
That DNA matches up to him in there, so he is fucked. That basically at this point, there's no other way around.
No doubt.
We got science. We got all their shit here. Some guy said you tried to give him Qatari money. It's a mess. So the jury convicts Wright on the 3 home invasions, which have 19 total charges.
Wow.
This is October 22nd, 2001. Here are his convictions.
Deep shit.
4 counts of forced oral copulation.
Oh, boy.
3 counts of first-degree burglary. 4 counts of first-degree robbery. 5 counts of kidnapping. 3 counts false imprisonment.
Whoa.
Holy shit. That's a
long list.
Stiff. That's a stiff docket of charges there. That is 19, and none of those charges are like driving without your seatbelt.
No,
they didn't throw in any extras.
No.
These are all heavy charges. These are fucking bad.
And these are in California?
Yeah, convicted too. He's convicted.
Where'd he go? Did he go to Pelican Bay?
I don't know because he got transferred around a little bit. So I don't know where he is now because nobody does any follow-up shit on him because nobody cares about this guy.
Because he's
lost. He's literally lost to time.
I love it.
This is the only comprehensive anything.
I love it.
There's a story, like I said, you'll get a story from 2005 that talks about his childhood for a minute, and you'll get a story from the robbery time that just talks about the robbery. Wow. There's nothing that puts this all together. No one cares, basically. You guys are the only people that give a shit about this fucking guy. And us, we're the idiots that are telling you about it. So he is sentencing set for November 16th, 2011.
All right.
Sentencing judge Michael Savage, not the radio guy, an actual judge, Michael Savage. One of the best sentencing fucking...
I feel like these guys practice this shit.
Oh, they do.
They write them out, and then they do them in the mirror, and they're like, I can't wait to deliver that one day.
This is their signature.
Yeah.
This is like a judge's signature, man. This is how you can, like, really throw your stink on something.
Yeah.
Because they
This
know...
is like when a doctor is, like, in med school, and they're like, how am I going to get this prescription signature down?
Yeah.
I got to get it perfect.
This is their
and
brand.
this is their shit.
This is like when Walt Disney was drawing Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
He's like, I want the ears to be like this. This is how they do it. This is their voice.
This is Kanye's Yeezy shoe.
It's like a comic's voice, basically. Like that.
No doubt.
A judge, after a while, when they have to practice insulting people, first couple of years, they're like, man, I ripped him, but I think I didn't rip him just right. Like 4 or 5 years in, they're like, I think I'm finding my voice at this.
This is Larry the Cable Guy's Get Her Done.
Exactly. This is a great one here because this sums it up beautifully.
Right.
He could say this to basically anybody we've covered so far. This is just a generic statement that covers crime in sports.
I'm so excited to hear this.
We should make this like our cover photo on everything we have. Michael Savage, quote, I have the distinct impression that your ability to sack quarterbacks worked much like a get-out-of-jail-free card. That may have given you the wrong impression about whether or not you are required to follow the rules of this society.
I love him.
You, sir, may fuck off. And may he ever fuck off. Mm-hmm. He may fuck off for the longest sentence in crime and sports history.
No doubt.
He's the longest in prison guy that we've ever covered.
How much is it?
He is sentenced to 114 years to life.
Holy shit.
Plus 120 years and 8 months.
Just to make sure.
For a total of 234 years and 8 months to life.
Holy shit.
So just in case you're still alive after 234 years and 8 months, not so fast, asshole. There's a little more. We have some leeway still not to parole you, you complete and utter piece of shit.
Now go find some sand to move.
We got a big pile right there. So, on top of that, restitution to the victims, and he has to reimburse the county for the cost of the prosecuting his 19 felonies, which he's in jail for 243 years. How many piles of rocks can you move?
He's got time to work
that kind of money. Yeah, I don't know what is Qatari currency worth in rock moving money. You know what I mean? What is Qatari currency worth in rock moving money? He really should have started the Reno by the Sea ad campaign.
Absolutely,
and he would have had a much better life.
That is so much time, though.
It's an amazing amount of time.
That's me, my children, and my wife all together will never live that long.
No,
combining our years together.
No,
that is so much time.
That was like, I think that's like if George Washington got arrested, he'd be just getting out now. Think about that. If the British arrested George Washington for oral copulation,
for musket point blowjobs,
musket point blowjobs, he'd be getting out now with his powdered wig and his hat, going, "This is confusing.
This world is a little different.
It's a little different." Yeah, exactly. So when he gets out, there'll be spaceships whizzing by his head.
Unbelievable.
And the whole time too, he's yelling that this is on the trial, he didn't get a fair trial, and that it's a quote miscarriage of justice. They have your DNA on this chick, and you have a bunch of shit that you stole from these people.
The only miscarriage of justice is that you didn't take your prowess from college and transfer that into the NFL and have a fucking successful life. The miscarriage of justice is that you fucking ruined not just that woman. You ruined whoever she marries forever because she's never sucking that man's dick.
No.
Ever.
Unless it's at gunpoint, because that's the fucked up psychology that people have.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what she'll need now. It's the only way she'll get off now. I need it. It's true. And all the time, if you look at psychology, whenever kids get anything done to them, that's what they need later on.
Yeah.
That's why people are fucked up. That's the whole point.
That poor guy. Whoever she marries, I feel so bad for him.
I feel bad for just about everybody in this story, but like I said, the mistaken identity people in this story in particular, because it's such a common name.
There's so many.
And there's so many. And I could have taken... I mean, I had to cut it off just so we wouldn't go all night with fucking, in their
The amazing part is that there's so many of them chasing a football dream, too.
Oh, yeah. There are now current ones that are chasing it, and other guys who have been there. And I think there was a cornerback named Keith Wright also.
What the fuck?
In the 2000s, like around the same time that this Keith Wright was kicking, maybe like late 90s. I'm almost positive of it. So it's crazy, man. The whole thing's nuts. This guy is luckily in jail forever.
Thank God.
Which is good. It's when he's done in the league in 2006. Like I get, he's probably depressed and he's like, practice squad. Because I mean, when he got that deal with the Bucks there, that 2-year deal, that had to be like a lifeline.
Shining moment.
It's finally because I mean, he got the 3-year deal and got cut, and this is 2 years later. So I mean, he had to be like, fuck, I'm redeeming myself. Yeah. This is gonna work.
I'm gonna go to Germany.
Yeah, but then
start over.
He has 2 degrees. When he's done in the league.
How do you resort to criminal activity?
You've been in the NFL. You have access to people. You have access to business people that you should have been making connections with.
You've played on 4 professional football teams. You know so many people.
You have connections, but I'm talking just, I mean, how do you not get a job in one of these companies that sponsored the team that when they come in to meet everybody, you said hello to them and all? How do you not go, hey, man, do you need an extra guy to be like...
I've got 2 degrees.
I got 2 degrees.
Right.
And I'm kind of, people kind of know who I am a little bit. Maybe
I kind of know stuff about this sport.
Yeah, anything in Sacramento, I'm kind of a famous guy there, shit like that. Instead, no. He said, I'm going to be in Sacramento making women blow me for Qatari currency. Those are separate incidents, but still, good God.
I like it.
So luckily, he's in prison. Keith Wright. They said, that's
it's
one.
Essentially over.
Guarantee you never heard of that guy. You never knew what the hell that guy did.
I didn't know he existed.
No, I had no idea that guy existed, and Jesus Christ, I'm not happy that he does exist, to be honest with you. I wish
there's another person that's very, very regretful that he survived an abortion.
Oh, God. Imagine his mother, that would have been... Imagine she just fell down the stairs at like 3 months pregnant. The whole world saved a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I encourage or want bad things to happen to people, but... She didn't need a kid.
No.
She's a crackhead.
She clearly was an unfit mother.
I would say she's sending her kid to buy crack.
At Lord. 7.
At 7. We've all been mad at our parents.
Yeah.
All of us. All of us can look back at something our parents did and be like, yeah, they were really fucking assholes.
Yeah.
And they really did me wrong there. I can honestly say they never made me buy crack, ever.
I don't think they ever sent me to buy anything.
Not crack.
No.
My aunt, when I was a little kid, used to make me go to buy cigarettes.
Really?
Yeah, she'd like call them and being like, I'm sending my nephew to buy cigarettes.
That's awesome.
And she'd make me go buy cigarettes for her when I was
that
like
feels
8 years
borderline
old.
illegal. That's awesome.
It was very illegal,
yeah,
but it was
like
they didn't care. Nobody gave a shit back then. But it was, it was the 80s. Nobody gave a fuck. But like, it wasn't crack rocks.
No.
And I had no chance of being like, held up for my cigarette money. That was
for your $2.25.
Yeah, for my $2.25 back then or whatever. But this guy sending him to get crack raw. What a mess, man.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, so that's Keith Wright, guys, in a nutshell.
That was a fun one.
Wow, it's a mess, man.
I really liked it.
I liked it too.
I really did.
It was one where I feel like we earned that one because we really had to fight for it.
We struggled with him.
It's not well. It was struggled to find all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what I mean.
So much to find. There's just not a lot. He wasn't covered, and I don't know why. Why wouldn't you cover that?
It's so interesting.
Good God, man.
So
What's
interesting.
wrong with these
There's so much going on from day one to fucking today.
People with your goddamn journalism degrees, get your shit together. Because we're not journalists, we're comedians. We're doing the best we can.
He's eating off a steel tray right now, and nobody fucking knows it.
Nobody, man. It's
crazy.
It's terrible. So that's him. We have to, before we wrap this up, we have to give a thank you to Mark Busby.
Yes.
He is the ambassador of the Crime in Sports Movement Australia chapter.
Yes.
Because this guy sent us, last night we had our show at the Tempe Improv that we've been plugging away.
Yeah.
Great show. Awesome. Thank you guys. Anybody who came out, we really appreciate it.
It's so fun.
We had such a good time. But Mark Busby, we get called in by the club manager of the Tempe Improv. And me and Jimmie and I, we work there a lot.
Right.
So he says, hey, come here, I got to talk to you guys. And he's got a folded up piece of paper.
I was terrified.
And he said, I got an email. And we looked at each other like, what did we do last time we worked together? Oh, shit, did we piss somebody off?
Yeah.
Did we tell someone to go fuck themselves? Did you make somebody give you a gunpoint blowjob, Jimmie? I swear to God, I told you to stop that.
Did I call a patron a whore? Because I've done that before.
Because that happens.
Yeah.
It's a comedy club.
Right.
So it turns out he was just informing us that some crazy Australian man that he didn't know had
threatened to beat him with a wallaby.
If we were not given beers on Mr. Busby.
Yes.
So that is awesome. Mr. Busby here, Mark Busby, wins the longest distance to send someone a beer contest. From the other side of the world. He sent a beer from tomorrow.
Yeah.
All the way back in time.
He put it in a fucking time machine
and sent that shit back,
all the way back
to the Tempe Improv. So that's just amazing.
Huge.
Jay Wedbetter, thank you. And also to our usual crew.
You guys are amazing.
Sean, all those guys. We love you guys all. You guys are the best. All you guys really. Can't thank you guys enough for your support. Keep it going, man. I'm serious. Like we said, we're not journalists. No. We don't have a network.
Nope.
We are two guys with nobody helping us, and somehow we've gotten a pretty damn good lot of listeners here. Based on you people spreading it to each other and helping us out. So
tell 6 friends.
Tell 6, tell 60.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. And
tell
please,
6 and tell them to tell 6.
iTunes, guys.
Fucking iTunes.
The iTunes reviews, you want to help us out, the iTunes reviews will tell you exactly how it works. It's not just how many downloads, how many listeners you have. It is also reviews. It's a big mash of shit of how they do their algorithm.
Their algorithm is a fucking nightmare.
So to get us on the charts, to get us in like the top 150 in our category, that type of thing, reviews are what gets you there along with everything else. So we really, really need the reviews. Get us on there. Wouldn't you like to see us on there? I'd love to see. It'd be so cool because we work our asses off on it, guys.
I'll shoot Jizz 100 miles.
100 miles.
100 miles.
Jimmie's from Madeira all the way to Reno by the sea. It's just...
A man from the UK tweeted us about the show and said that he found us by digging through true crime and the ratings.
Yeah.
And he said he found us through an exhaustive search.
Yeah.
And he said he was thrilled he found us, but I'm not thrilled that it takes him that goddamn long.
No.
So let's fucking rate.
Please, guys,
Rate
let's
and
make it
review.
our mission. Let's make it our mission. We're a little squadron here, the crime and sports movement, and that's what we need. That's what we need from you guys.
Enormously on so many lists, and I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah.
That feels tremendous.
We will make you a
deal. What we're
deal.
doing is appreciative.
We'll make you a deal. Appreciate it. There, we will always have an episode at 12:05 a.m. Pacific time every Tuesday morning.
It's a pretty solid deal.
We will always have one. We will do as much research as humanly possible, and we'll try to make it as much fun as humanly possible. All we need is a 30-second iTunes review from you, and you have fucking bought everything you need to buy from us, and we're happy people.
Happy as shit.
So thank you guys so much for listening. Next week, I have a wild one for you.
I can't wait.
It's going to be fun because it's a twisty story.
Yeah.
We're going to have some...
From day one?
We're going to have some murder. It's going to be good. We're going to go back into the murder next week. Yes.
There will be blood.
There will be blood. I have to save the murders a little bit.
Yeah.
We can't just bust out with a long trail of murder.
I can't just tell you all about murder.
All about the murders.
Then give you a dude that sells crack rocks and fucking gets...
So we're going to bounce between crack and disaster. And we're trying to give you a good variety of different sports, different kinds of people, and different kinds of people.
Yeah.
You don't get more different than Tommy Morrison and Keith Wright. They're the opposite. They're just the black and white of each other. Not even black and white in color of like race. Black and white and just fucking... They're
the victims and
reverse
crime.
negative of each other. It's ridiculous. One's from the... Hey, Frankie the Crime and Sports Dog is awake. Very good. But that's our show for this week, guys. We love you so much. Thank you. Listen in next week. We will see you then.